Columbi.
Here.
Osterloo. Larson.
Here.
Penny.
Here.
Fox.
Here.
Jursa.
Here.
Denzinger. Allen.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right. Anybody got anything to declare as a conflict for the proposed agenda? Hearing none, let's go on to the agenda. The agenda has been provided in the packet of information. Any additions or corrections to it? Hearing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. The minutes of the September 28th meeting were also provided in the packet. Is there any information that needs to be changed in those minutes, or shall they be approved as presented?
Move to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Schedule for the next meeting for October 26th. Any conflicts or discussion on it?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let's hear a motion.
Move to approve.
Moved and seconded that the next meeting be scheduled for October 26th. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Next, motion carries. Next, item number 7. Stacy and Levon Murtha at 2700 Menser Court have applied for a height variance of 25 feet versus 7 feet required for construction of a detached garage at 2700 Menser Court. Legally described as Lots 8, Block 3, Woodland Heights, First Edition, City of Mitchell-Davidson County. Said real property zone, Woodland Heights Plan Development District.
Okay, I'll give you some background, and I see that Representative Easton Lumber, and I'm assuming Stacy is here. So on pages 7, 8, and 9, you would see some drawings that were submitted. Really, the only thing is requesting is the height. Just so that some of you may recall, this is in a plan development district. The height restriction in accessory buildings here is 17. Even if the other parts of the city are 22, that still would require a variance. And, you know, just as a reference. So it looks like the size-wise is going to be. The footprint is going to be fine, and so forth. On page 11, you would see a outline of where the building is, that blue outline, and you kind of see the one I did measure from Doug is 188 feet. So anyway, we did not receive any letters back or any calls or anything like that. So I guess, like I said, the applicant and the builder is here. Actually, the developer of the area is here too.
Well, I drove out there the other day after we got this because I wanted to kind of see how that was going to lay out in there. And my thought was the height is not going to be out of line with what's out there. That was my initial thought. Anybody else got any comments? Have anybody been to look at it? And
Yeah, I drove by. Looked pretty good to me. Square footage. What are we looking at there?
Well, the footprint is
26 by 34.
yeah, it's 26 by 34, so it is.
The second level in there as well. That's what I'm after.
man cave.
Yep. Just that side off to the east would be a mezzanine up there.
Yeah. Be able to park a motorhome in it too, I bet.
Hopefully a car lift.
Okay. That makes sense too. Any further discussion? Ask the gentlemen, the folks here.
Utility easement on that property, not a concern, obviously.
It is not, it's along the side and the back.
All right, if there's no further discussion, we're looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the variance as requested. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Okay, council will hear this Monday night in this room at 6 o'clock. Yep, Monday night.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last item on the agenda today, well, not quite, but almost. A variance, Stephen Roberta McCulloch at 101 and 103 North Minnesota Street have applied for a backyard variance of 1 foot versus 5 feet, a height variance of 26 feet versus 22 feet, and an oversized variance of 2,630 square feet versus 22,000 square feet as required for construction of a detached garage located at 103 North Minnesota, legally described as lots 11, 12, and 13 of Block 90 Lawlers, Second Edition, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. Now, one of my first thinkings there, is this a floodplain area? Is this a flood hazard
Are
area?
you not in the floodplain?
No, well, it's 500-year floodplain, and I, visiting with somebody, Jeff Baskey told the fellow that they've changed some of the floodplain rules, so I don't know. But, it's
Please
a
shoot it.
500-year floodplain.
We'll just go shoot it with GPS, and if GIS, if it's above the BFE for that cross-section of creek, we'll write it. If it's not, we won't write it.
Okay,
We worked with Steve a short time ago on that shed he built there on the corner. Where is that at, Steve? Is it right here?
Yeah, it's right across the street,
The new shed here?
yeah, yeah,
Is this north?
Yep.
yeah, that's north, so the other one would be probably higher than that.
So we went right here on the sidewalk, and the creek is right here, right at the bottom, running east and running west. We shot on the sidewalk, and he was still 8 inches above BFE right here, and he was higher than that over here. And I asked Mark Macy at the state, because we run into this several times that you bring that up, Steve, with the new flood mapping. It's some of it's atrocious, some of it's okay. But the GIS stick's not gonna lie. We pay $60,000, $70,000 for Trimble, let's use it. And that's what we've been doing. And Kyle's been okay, and then as long as I go to one of our engineer techs, they take the shot, and I call Mark Macy and I say, my elevation is 1264.8. And the base flood elevation is 1264. So we gotta be at or above the BFE according to the ordinance that we adopted from FEMA. So that's what we've been, it's easier to go use the GIS and the engineer than, you know, with our elevation than it is to try to read the maps.
Steve, you may want to explain to them on the aerial what's happening to the existing building and the relation to this
The
building.
building is gonna be removed.
Okay, just that.
Yeah, it's deteriorating, there's a kind of a carport thing there with the existing building. This is just to replace that and upgrade it.
okay, but
Where the yellow X's are on there, I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see it better on your aerial on this in your packet. Actually, it's the very last page of your packet. Where the yellow X is actually going to disappear.
Yeah. You can see where the square footprint is there on that other drawing. There's a building there now that, the roof needs to be replaced, a bunch of work needs to be done, so that's gonna disappear.
okay, and what about the one that's to the north of it there? Is that going to be attached to the new one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's the reason for the oversize?
Yeah, so we could have it, of course, that's pre-existing, but that's right on the lot line, that way I can have a straight shot through it. Have the west end all straight.
Okay, who's the lot to the west of you?
You are,
Okay,
and I am, and the rest of the people here.
right, that's the city lot where the sewer easement comes in further west of that?
Yeah, and we had, the city was out there, and that sewer is a dead line.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, we went through that before we even bothered with the meeting here, because that was the contention last time we went, we're gonna do this. That we had a live sewer there, but the only thing that feeds that sewer is that little house, probably with the red dot there, right next to the railroad track, which is, my house there, on Minnesota.
Going north,
No, going west.
or going west, okay.
Yeah. So I think at one time there was a house on, Montana, North Montana back there that no longer existed. I think that is the only thing that used that sewer at the time, and that house has been gone for years.
To the west further.
Yeah.
You're gonna access that then from off of Minnesota or off of your other property there?
Off Minnesota,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any questions for the gentleman, besides me talking?
The 1 foot setback on the backside, that's just to line up with the existing garage?
Correct, yeah.
John, you got any issues there that you see?
Well, I suppose the other one's grandfathered in, but if you have the new portion on there, there should be a firewall, because it's less than 3 feet from their lot line, what the ordinance would state, and built out of type 5B wood, construction type, you're supposed to have a firewall there of 2 hours, which gets, that's a lot of fire rating, because it ends up being 4 layers of 5/8 sheetrock, or whatever assembly you can put together that meets the 2 hour separation. It doesn't have to be 4 layers of 5/8, it can be, there's several different ways to get there.
All right, we're gonna put that close, then it's gonna have to meet that firewall, because there are some other structures back there that not too far away from it, and if it's gonna be a garage, chances are there could be a fire inside of it.
So if it connects to the old garage, does that old garage west wall have to be?
Well,
That's a question.
that's a good question.
Because it doesn't make any sense to fire rate half
Right.
the wall.
Right?
Either I think you do it all or you don't do any of it. That would be my thought on it. I'm not sure what half of a firewall, what good that would do.
And there are no structures to the west.
Yeah.
I mean, that's city land, there's floodplain below there, so there's, in our lifetime, there's not gonna be anything built back there, right?
Unless the city would get together and sell him enough to get 3 feet and be done with it, when they no firewall.
Yeah, there you go. Or the whole lot back there.
That'd be a good, I mean, if we're not gonna use it, but if we gotta retain it for sewer easement, or retention pond someday, or a number of other things,
So the city owns that lot, what actually is that lot for? I mean, does the city use it for anything? There's nothing there,
It
right?
accumulated a lot of junk for a while, we cleaned it up, I think, under Mayor Siebert at one time. A lot of junk and trees and garbage and vehicles, whatever else is back there. Steve probably knows more than I do about it. Yeah, it was a dump place for a while.
Campground, or whatever, yeah.
And I don't know if we still maintain it or spray it or what we do, I'm not for sure. Do we own it, Neil?
Yeah.
We've just been mowing it, because otherwise it just grows up.
Do you wanna own it?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I know who we talked to.
That would eliminate the problem, and then.
City council or Kyle or Stephanie or whoever else.
Have to go through
You gotta go-
Joe's office first.
Yeah, and then you get declared surplus. First of all, the council got to decide if you want.
Right.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit more?
What he's doing.
Well, if the city doesn't.
So it's the stuff south of the fence there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So you've been using it to access the backside of your lot anyway?
yeah, well, I'm part of this railroad right away, and,
Yeah, that railroad right-of-way in there is probably 100 footers.
I think it's 50 feet on each side of the
Side.
Yeah.
center.
That's.
So that road might even be on the railroad property a little bit?
Yeah, it comes right down around the creek there.
Steve, if you want to look at purchase it, talk to the engineer's office.
Okay.
What do you think, Joe?
In my opinion, if it's bordered up to Dry Run Creek, it's advantageous for the city probably to own that, but if give up 3 feet is probably not that big of a deal. And we do have infrastructure design group looking at Dry Run Creek and making some different areas wider for staging. So just for that reason, I'd like to check with them to see if there would be any issues with giving it up.
All right, what's your pleasure, gentlemen? What do we ought to do here? How quick are you wanting to build?
I'd like to have done it yesterday, but the way I go, I've got, if I can get it done, maybe late this fall or maybe next year. You know, I need to get the process going here, so it's basically just going in and talking to John, get the permit and start. The structure I've got there is getting, we don't have any snow, it's no problem, but it's getting a little bit rotten in spots and it needs to be, some work done.
It needs to go away.
It needs to go away and it needs to have something more permanent and more viable structure there. That's why I'm looking at doing this.
Well, I'll make this motion to approve based on 2 options. One would be to do the west wall of the new garage, a firewall, and the existing garage, west wall, firewall. Or option number 2 would be to have the owner purchase the 3 feet to the west from the city, and then a firewall for the new construction and the existing construction would be required.
Yeah, would not be required at that point.
I would say one of those 2 options, that's what I would make a motion to approve, either one of those 2, whatever the owner and the city can work out. If the owner wants to own 3 feet of land.
Well, I think Joe's got right on the money, and that's why I made the statement, you know, you might save it for retention pond or whatever else we need it for. Because once you sell it, you can't get it back probably, but like, to give up 3 feet probably wouldn't jeopardize what we need there in the future.
I'll second that.
All right, moved and seconded. Is there discussion on the motion?
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood. He's proposing, he's gonna, with the condition, or suggestion that there's 2 options. One option is that the west wall, and the existing west wall and the proposed new west wall, be both look fire rated, however he accomplishes that for code. Yes. And then, or is that he can acquire 3 feet from the city, hence he wouldn't need the firewall.
Correct.
Okay, just make sure I understood it correctly.
All right,
Are you're good with either one of those?
The other things too, on the variances, we have a height.
Yep.
yeah, the variance, the height variance is okay.
Height and oversize.
Yeah.
Height variance,
Yeah,
that would be approved.
yeah.
Or make a motion.
Okay, so you're approving the other 2. The other 2 are okay.
Yep, and that's what the second is saying too.
Yes.
All right, further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, let's go roll call, Neil.
Sure. Fox,
Yes.
Ursa,
Yes.
Molumby,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes,
Penny.
Yes.
motion carries.
5-0.
Is there any other business to come before this body at this time? Hearing none, it's time for public input. If you need to address the City Planning Commission on an item that was not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium, state your name and your concerns. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. I see no one coming to the podium. I can put my 3-minute timer back in my pocket, and we are adjourned. I like 3-minute time. 3 minutes exactly. It was per cell phone, when you're calling on a cell phone booth. I saw that in a box of crap at a yard sale, and I think I give $1 for it, and I thought, yeah, I gotta have that, that is neat. And people look at it and they don't understand what it
I
was.
would never guess what it was in my phone, but
Yeah,
I would guess it was 3 grand above it.
yeah.
I should have.
Uh,